Well, hey guys, it's good to be with you tonight. We have had so many people added to our team. It seems like it's not just, let me rephrase that. We're multiplying. We're not adding any longer with the great leadership we have on this team. We've had just dozens and dozens of new agents join us just in the last few weeks in the Young Master Agency. And many of you have come here as hard workers. You've been committed to getting your family where you want them to be, but no matter how hard you work, you just have not been able to make that happen. Now you're here. And if you've been here longer than 2 weeks, you've heard the leaders on this team say that change has to happen before you can win. Now, see, change is the number one thing that will bring about success in what we do. It's also the biggest challenge most of us will face. The change involves getting out of our comfort zone and entering an area of unknowns, things you've never done before, and not knowing the outcome before you start the journey. See, most of us want to know the outcome before we begin. When you go through changing who you are and becoming bigger and better, that gets real intimidating sometimes. It can be very intimidating and overwhelming. You're sitting there thinking maybe you just got on the team the last couple of weeks, you just got your license, you're thinking, how in the world do I get to the place that the leaders on this team have gotten to? Well, you do it a little at a time. And it's a process. Mike Pappas for years has, he was actually the catalyst of what I'm going to talk about tonight. But for years, he's talked to his people about making small changes. Talks to them about making just very tiny changes. And, I came across a couple of days ago a post that he was encouraging one of his new agents to just change by 2 degrees per day, just a tiny bit. Now, we can all do that, right? Well, another thing we say here a lot is get a plan, follow the system for 90 days, and you can change your life forever. And while I was reading that post, it kind of hit me, and it became instantly clear to me that, like Mike said, if you make small changes each day, 2 degrees, you make those changes for 90 days, that's 180 degrees. You'll completely change the direction of your life here. It happens. We see it all the time. See, no matter how hard you work, how fast you run, if you're headed in the wrong direction, you'll never get to the right place. So embrace change, embrace feeling uncomfortable. That's a great sign that you're headed in the right direction. I haven't been comfortable in the last 10 years. And if I ever get comfortable, I know I'm not doing something right. I'm doing something this week, on a personal note, I'm doing something this week that I've never done since I've been in the business, almost 10 years. And I'm very uncomfortable. But I've learned over the years, Danny, that when I feel this way, it's a sure sign that I am headed in the right direction. And for some weird reason, I get a lot of comfort from being uncomfortable. So, Dan, I'll turn it back to you.
Tom was 11 hours from Tulsa, Oklahoma, running appointments. He bought 40 leads, and he's not coming home until he's written a ton of business and he's recruited somebody, because he's in an area that needs some leadership. And look, we're in the business right now. We are absolutely in the business of establishing our footprint in the western part of the United States, because nobody's done it. Nobody's done it. You look at, we got 60-something agency managers now, 62, 63, something like that. There's none in California. There's none in Utah. There's none in Oregon. There's none in Washington. There's none in Nevada. There's one in Arizona. There's one in Colorado that moved there from Tennessee. Fixing to be 2 in Colorado. after this month, thanks to us and Mr. Jordan Shank. But there's no presence. There's no presence at all with Symmetry in the western part of the United States. And I want to talk to you about that tonight because I was really, really awesome that Tom talked about the 90 days. Because this is not going to be a John Maxwell law tonight, okay? This is going to be me. This is stuff I wrote down earlier. If you can get 3 or 4 of the right kind of people, you have the foundation on which you can build an entire agency. See, when I came to the mortgage protection business from Primerica in 2006, I recruited not one person my first 85 days by choice. I was so tired of recruiting people in Primerica and having them quit because they had no leads. Primerica was hard. It was tough for people. Is, you know, family and friends, you alienate them, then you got nobody to go see. So I was mentally tired of people, tired of having people quit. And so my plan, when I came to the mortgage protection business, this is when I found out that there was a such thing as leads in the insurance business. I had no idea until 2006 that existed. My plan was to buy some leads, go see some people, and hopefully somebody buy something. My first month, October of 2006, I wrote $14,500 premium. My second month, I wrote $16,500 premium. And my third month, December, I wrote $21,000 in premium by myself. And then my life changed in a 5-day period. I recruited 4 directs in that 5-day period. 3 from friends who called me, asking what I was doing since I left Primerica, and 1 guy that I ran into outside a coffee shop. So 85 days, didn't recruit anybody. 5 days, in a 5-day period, I recruited 4 directs. January 1st, 2007, I had 4 directs. May 31st, 2007, I still had my 4 directs, but I had 100 agents. My babies had grandbabies. See, I went from writing 21,000 in December of 06 to writing 107,000 in May of 07. I didn't get direct number 5 to me for 15 months. And the guy that I ran into outside the coffee shop, he brought me 36 people in 60 days. And look, from that one person, look, a chance meeting. I don't do coffee shops. I don't drink coffee. But I went there to meet with my upline and ran into this guy outside the coffee shop. And from that one person came Tom Chisholm, Sarah and Mike Pappas, Ashley Tarr. One person. Now, look, I don't recommend you having only 4 directs, but that was the foundation of my entire agency. So I said all that to say this. Those of you who aren't as big as you'd like to be, it's because of one of 2 reasons. Number one, you aren't trying very hard to recruit. There's 300 million people in this country. So it's not that there's no one to talk to about Symmetry. Or number 2, and this is throughout Symmetry. I'm telling you, this is why we're going to beat everybody before it's over. You're recruiting people to sell. You recruit people to come here, get leads, make dials, run appointments, write apps. See, the problem with that plan is that salespeople are temporary. They come here with an expiration date. It may be 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 years, but they're temporary. They'll leave for a lot of different reasons. Higher contract, greener grass, something looks shinier. A friend of theirs started a MLM and they want to go work with them. People leave. See, they'll leave for whatever reason there is because they're temporary. Selling stuff here will not keep somebody here long term. I've seen people. I saw people in the time will tell you this. I saw people in the last IMO. When we got there, they were writing 30, 40,000 a month personal. I'm thinking, this is crazy. By the time we left, none of those people were there. None of them. Writing 30 or 40,000 a month. So what do you think somebody writing 1,000 a month is going to do? Think they're going to stick around? See, I don't recruit to sell. I recruit to build. I want people who are going to stay. People will leave a contract level a lot quicker than they'll leave an override. Tom Chisholm has been with me over 9 years. He didn't stay because he liked me. He stayed because he built something that pays him when he works and something that pays him when he doesn't work. He's in the personal business and the override business. So the best thing you can do for every single person on your team is get them a recruit. Look at your team. Look at your team and see how many of your people don't have anyone. Take a good look, because the ones that don't have anyone won't be here long term. So take a good look. Look, Ashley Tarr's team has blown up because she found 2 people. Look, last month, Ashley Tarr's team in a 4-week month did 525,532 in production, 464 apps, 53 writers. That was in September. Y'all remember the numbers? In May, she did 165,000. She's more than tripled since May. How'd that happen? Let me tell you how it happened. She found 2 people, Kyle Kimbrell and Jordan Shank. See, these 2 people came here understanding the value of building a team. They came here understanding that. Kyle got Tony Capistrano, a builder. Tony got Darren Stubbs, a builder. Darren got Eric Andrick, a builder. Jordan got Tina Ziegler, a builder. And the list goes on and on. And see, from that, Kyle's team did 48,000 their first month, July. 157,000 in August, 294,000 in September, and over 300,000 in October. One guy that understood the value of building a team. And guess who builders know? Anybody want to guess who builders know? They know builders. So while Kyle's team did 48 to 157 to 294 to over 300, think about what your team of 3 or 4 salespeople did. You see, you can't compete. You cannot compete. I told Brandon and Casey when I came here, I said, this is what I'm going to do. I promise you this is what I'm going to do. My team is going to come here and we're going to play big. We are going to build, and we're going to build with builders, and I promise you this, my builders are going to beat everybody's salespeople. Matter of time. Jordan Shank just finished his 2nd month of qualifying for agency manager. He ran his first appointments in either May or June, his first appointments, and now he's at the end of this month, he's going to qualify for agency manager. It is really unbelievable when you look at some of the numbers. Because, see, what salespeople do, salespeople just spend their time, they're worried about leads, they're worried about dials, they're worried about appointments, they're worried about getting stuff issued, they're worried about getting a check. Meanwhile, look at Kyle Kimbrell's team last month. He had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 agents wrote over 10,000. Paul Arnold wrote 10,200. Kathy Rentelen, 14,700. Lisa Kimbrell, first week in the field, 15,500. Darren Stubbs, 22,000. Maria Tollins, 24,000. Adele Lapois, 26,800. Greg Bevan, 28,800. Tony Capistrano, 45,900. And Kimberly No wrote 69,500 in September. In October, 4-week month. See, because this is what you need to understand. If you recruit salespeople, they're going to write some apps. You get writers. From writers, you may get a few writers. From builders, you'll get writers and builders. So it goes boom so much quicker. So think about this. How can you have somebody on your team that's been here for any length of time and they don't have the first recruit? How is that possible? See, it's our responsibility. Me, Chisholm, Tarr, Pappas, Maddox, Trevor Gregory, Mike Dernbach. It's our responsibility to help our people build something. Get them somebody. See, if they don't build, they cannot have everything that Symmetry offers. They can't. If you don't build, you can't be an agency manager. Why would you come here and not be an agency manager? If you don't build, you can never get to 110% contract. Why would you not want the highest contract? If you don't build, you can't participate in the equity bonus program. Get your people somebody. That's our responsibility as leaders, to get somebody for our people. They deserve it. And look, it keeps people around. They will not leave if they've got a team. Look, is it a pain in the butt? Absolutely. Ask Ashley Tarr. Ask her. Working her butt off. But anything worth having is worth working your butt off for. How many opportunities do you have in this life to build something using somebody else's money, like the carrier's money, to build your business where you can be profitable from the first week? Lisa Kimbrell in the field for the first week this last week, 15,000. She's profitable from day one. Where can you go and do that? Go try building a hardware store and see when you're profitable. You can do that here, using the carrier's money to do it. There's no reason to have somebody on your team. Now, look, some people don't want to build. I understand that. They want to come here and make $1,000 a month, $1,500 a month. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glad to have you. Appreciate it. But this team is looking for builders, and you cannot build something that's going to last by having new people every 90 days. And that's all you have is new people. Because I get to see everybody's numbers. And I know who's building, and I know who thinks they're building, and they're just recruiting salespeople. So they're people, they've got 3 or 4 writers each month, 3 or 4 writers, and every 90 days there's 3 or 4 different writers, because the first 3 or 4 left. That's too hard. Don't do that to yourself. Let's help people. We have got probably the most talented people on this team, the most skilled people on this team, some of the hardest workers on this team. There's no reason why we can't just take everybody. Because it's not good enough for me to get mine and Tom to get his. I want the newest person. See, I want the newest person here to have a better opportunity than I had when I came here 3 years ago. And they can have that if we, the leaders of the team, if we do our job, they can have that. It's our responsibility to help our people build. So how about we get busy building, okay? Everybody have a great week. Bye-bye.